Oh, Michael's muted. We should be live. Let's do a quick rundown of these three games, and then we'll hop in for some questions. Atlanta, Indiana. Start Atlanta. I mean, not much really needs to be said. Howard, 10K, great tournament play. Not going to be very owned. You got Caitlin Clark, cheaper than her, so love her for tournaments. Tina Charles, 9,200. Matchup is good. Just never know with her. I mean, she can score and she can grab some boards, and then she can just completely disappear, which isn't ideal, but I would have some exposure in large field tournaments if you're making a bunch of lines. Alicia Gray, pretty score independent, did have a good peripheral game last time out, so if you think that continues, don't mind her at her price tag. Cheyenne Parker, I don't know what's going on with her. If she plays mid-20s minutes, the matchup is good. I will tell you she has to guard Alyssa Smith, so she's going to be away from the basket for the most part, so that's not ideal, but the price is next to nothing for her talent. Aerial Powers, one of the better values. Higher up values, I mean 5,800, but she's going to play high teens minutes. She's going to chunk when she's out there. She has some upside if the shot's falling. Haley Jones, just no interest unless you're playing 150 lineups and you want to throw her in a couple. Nas, once again, I like her for value. She's 4,200. She's going to play mid-teens minutes. You needed the shot to fall for her to be good. She's going to get a couple peripheral stats. If she scores 6 to 8 real-life points, she can get you there at that price tag. It doesn't need much to pay off. Dangerfield is another good value play. She's played over 20 minutes the past two games. They're just not playing Haley Jones. She's just not been very good. Dangerfield hasn't been much better, but the minutes are there at 4K. No issues playing her. Nia Coffey, 3,800. If you land on her, cool. Not someone I'm actively trying to play. The minutes are not as secure as they are for Naz Hillman. So you just have to know that. She could get one rotation. She could get two. No interest in Kabaj or me here. On the Indiana side, Caitlin Clark, one of the best plays on the slate, in my opinion, 9,800. I cannot believe she's under 10K. She's been over 11K in her last three games on a main slate. This is the game where I think she just absolutely torches. She's made 7 threes before in a game. I think she could push for that. Atlanta just does not want to defend the three ball very well this year. They don't want to defend very much this year. Boston and Smith like both. Prefer Melissa. Her upside's a little higher. She is a lot more trolly. Her and the coach don't get along, but if we're talking straight up upside to upside, I prefer Melissa, but Boston is safer, even though she's not been near as good as she was last year. Price is up on her, but the minutes should be there because I'm expecting a really good game here. Kelsey Mitchell, 6,900 is fine. I have no issues with her. If she's going to take mid-teen shots, she has a decent fantasy upside. She just has to hit them. Wallace is fine at her price point. Not real crazy about it, but I mean, 5,300 for someone that starts and going to play mid-20s minutes is fine. Wheeler is fine off the bench at 5K. I'm not expecting much, but mid-teens minutes. Samuelson, same thing, mid-teens minutes. They're up. Her and Wheeler's minutes were up last game because of the blowout. You can take a shot on Hull or Berger if you're playing a bunch of lineups or you think they play. I'm under the impression if this game's close, they're going to play 7 girls and Hull and Berger will not play. But that's just me. If you think they're going to get run at their price points, you can play them as a pure punt play. Seattle and Dallas, this game should be awesome. Obviously, for smaller fields, you're looking at Lloyd, NECA, Ezzy, and SDS. All 4 look great. They dominate the usage here. Large field tournaments, you can take a shot on like a Horston, Whitcomb, or Vivian's as a cheaper play. No real interest in Russell or anyone else down here. On the Dallas side, we know who's going to get massive minutes for them. Arike probably going to play the entire game. Love her as a spend up at the top. Mo Billings has been really good. She's playing massive minutes. Matchup is fine. Big T in a great spot. She's sub 9K. Have no issues with her. Maddie sub 8K. Pretty score independent, but if she pops and grabs some boards, she can put up a huge game. Uzan minutes did go down last game, but at 6,700, have no issues with her. if you're trying to find a mid-range value, I think you can play Uzan. She's going to play at least 30 minutes. And she has some decent upside. She hasn't really shown it the past couple games. I think her ownership is going to reflect that. I think she'll be pretty low owned. And just on the minutes alone, I have interest. Kalani Brown, if you think Big T gets in foul trouble or plays bad, you can play Kalani Brown in large field. I would not play her in even 20 max. It would have to be more than that. No interest in Suarez. Minutes just aren't there. Sheldon, I do have some interest in extreme large field. She did get an uptick in minutes. If Uzan struggles, they will go to Sheldon pretty quick and give her the opportunity to maybe steal some minutes. But it's really, really risky to play her because she could play 5-6 minutes and not pay off her very cheap price. Last game of the night, Aces, Phoenix. Aces side, big news we're waiting on is Chelsea Gray. I'm expecting her to play. She is questionable. If she does play, it's going to be under a severe minutes limit. I would expect around 15 to 18 minutes. Asia Wilson, obviously, just the best player in the world. If you can fit her player. Kelsey Plum, fantastic tournament play. She's not been very good this season. Shooting the ball, her efficiency's down, but have no issues playing her. The matchup is great. If Chelsea Gray is playing, one of Kelsey Plum or Jackie Young will get Diana Taurasi's defense, and they will smash. Speaking of Jackie Young, 8,800. I will die on the Jackie Young hill. $8,800 is just way too cheap. There's been no mention of her being dehydrated or not feeling well, so I'm expecting full run. Tiffany Hayes is a fine play if Gray is out. If Gray is in, I have zero interest at that price point. Minutes just would not be as secure as you would need for that price point. Clark would go to the bench. I would not pay $6,200 for her if Gray plays. Stokes is fine in large field. It's just really hard to trust her minutes, especially with Gray coming back. She'll still start, but I imagine the rope will be very short with her. They'll have a very short leash, and because they need to win. They need to start winning games. Kate Martin, zero interest if Chelsea Gray plays. Gustafson, I would have some interest if Chelsea Gray is out. If she's in, I just worry about how many minutes she's going to get. Maybe take some shots in large field. If she's going to get minutes over Stokes, I mean, she could win you a GPP if you make a bunch of lines. Colson and Cannon will not play. On the Phoenix side, they did bring in Osborne. I'm not expecting her to get any kind of relative run. If she does, she's just going to take some minutes from Sutton. Copper, fine tournament play at the top, 9,600. No issues playing her in tournaments. She has big upside, but a low floor. BG, 9K. Price went up, but I'm expecting her to play 29 to 31 minutes, assuming the game is competitive. They are really featuring her on the offensive end. Don't mind that price point on her at all. I've made my intentions very clear on how high I am on Natasha Cloud. 8,500 seems too cheap. If she's not going to shoot the ball, she has a really good floor with the peripherals. And if you catch the game where she scores 21 fantasy point or 21 real life points, she's going to put up a 50 bomb. The matchup is great. It's a lot like Courtney Williams the other night. I was all over her. The matchup's just too good for that price point. DT, obviously, tournament only play. If the shot's falling, she can put up a good game. If it's not, watch out. It could be rough. Natasha Mack, zero interest at 6,500. Sophie, more of a large field play at 6,300 with Allen back, taking some of her minutes away. Allen herself, I have interest in at 5,600. She's going to play high 20s minutes, 3-and-D defender. If she hits some threes, grabs you some boards, she can easily pay off 5,600. Like I said, no real interest in anyone else down here. But let's get back over here and let's answer some questions. Let's see here. Wait a second. Hold on. Coffee is starting. No way. All right, well, I'm just screwed. I got 150 lineups, and there's no editing them. So that's not ideal. Let's see if I can get this done before lock and make some moves. Appreciate that. Nalissa SDS or Griner Young or Cloud if Gray plays. I'm leaning BG Jackie. I don't think Gray really affects Jackie too much. I think it opens up the offense for her a little bit. It may impact her assist upside, but Jackie needs to be more aggressive on the offensive end, and I think that's what Gray would do. So I'm going to go BG and Young. All right, we're going through starters here. I'm struggling immensely with forward favorites, not Asia. The 8K range is loaded. There's a lot of good plays there. I love both bigs for Seattle. Really, once you get below the 8K range and Maddie, forward gets really bad. I mean, now with Coffee starting, she's going to be just massive, massive chalk, I would imagine. I have no issues playing her. That's the starters. Let's see here. Coffee starting. Interesting. Very interesting. Who do you like under 5,600 on DraftKings? Let's look here. 5,600. Rebecca Allen is 5,600, but you said under. I don't mind Wallace or Horston. Horston's minutes have been better of late. 20 and 23 the past two games. She's the best, like, non-top four play in Seattle, so don't mind her. The matchup is good. That's about it. Then we run into this, like, you can play Whitcomb if you think she gets extended, or Vivian's if you think she if you think she gets extended because she starts. But then you just drop down to like Nas or Nia Coffee, Dangerfield, really someone in that range right there, or you just rebuild and play a real value. Arike, Katie Lou, or Mitchell Billings for cash. Oh, I probably lean Arike and Katie Lou. I just don't trust Mitchell very much for cash. She's so scoring dependent. And I know Arike is going to play at least 38 minutes. So I think her ceiling outweighs the other two for cash. Coffee starting is crazy. It is absolutely nuts. I don't know why she's starting. I don't know. I don't get it. They really are, though. Haley Jones, Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Nia Coffee, and Tina Charles. They're starting her over Cheyenne Parker. That's so bad. Oh, my God. Thoughts on Gus as a cheap value play, 3.8K on FanDuel? I don't mind her. I did have FanDuel up here. Now, obviously, you just play Nia Coffee. She's 3,400. But I still don't mind Gus at 3,800. I think she's still going to play 6 to 10 minutes. I don't know why they don't start her over Stokes. Their defense is terrible anyway. I mean, just bring the player that's going to take some pressure off of Asia on the offensive end, because teams are starting to double Asia because nobody's afraid of Kia Stokes shooting the ball. Who's my flag plant? I mean, it's probably just Jackie Young, but I think that's like a scapegoat. So I'll say Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark absolutely nukes this slate. I'm super, super high on her. Young and Boston, or Young and Gray. Chelsea Gray. I'm not playing Chelsea Gray. If that's Chelsea Gray, I would go Young and Boston. And even if it's Alicia Gray, I probably still lean Jackie Young and Aaliyah Boston. Gray from Atlanta. All right, I see it. I'm still on the Jackie Young Boston. How many minutes do we have projected for Coffee? I haven't run any projections yet, but I would imagine they are going to play her. Let me look. Parker's been getting low 20s. I would project Coffee to play at least 20 minutes and Parker to play 10 to 12 off the bench. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's hurt. That's the only thing. I would say low 20s minutes for Coffee is what I'd project. Is Hull the best value on the Fever besides Wallace? Probably. I think Katie Lou. Like Katie Lou or Wheeler is a better value than Hull. One of those two. Absolutely love your lineup. You love to hear that. 100% finishing bottom 5. I understand that. Someone you prefer 4.7K and under instead of Katie Lou, Nia Coffee. If you already have Nia, probably like Nas, but then you don't want to play both of them together. It's tough. Like I would obviously priority one is Nia Coffee for sure. Do you like anything on pick six? I did not look today, and I'm going to try and get the stream over with so I can adjust some lines and get some Nia Coffee, I guess. But I'll have some pick six stuff in the Discord tomorrow for sure. Let's see. Prefer the Seattle Bigs versus BG tonight. Seattle's playing Dallas, but I like the Bigs on both sides of that game. I like Ezzy, NECA, Big T, Billings, Maddie. I like all five of those quite a bit. You have Coffee. I would probably just go Nas and play both. It's kind of negative correlated, but like if you don't want to play Katie Lou, the next best play is Nas for sure. Prefer the Dallas Bigs versus have the money for. My favorite big from Dallas is Big T. NECA, Ezzy, or Charles. I love the upside on Ezzy. NECA is probably like the best point per dollar play out of those. But I like the upside with Ezzy, so I'm going to go with her. Cloud or Billings. That is super close. I'll go Billings, but it's really close. All right, guys. I'm going to end the stream early just so I can go and mess with some lines. I knew this would happen. The one day I do 150 lineups, like we get news like this. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll be live tomorrow before lock. We'll see you then, and good luck.